What is up, YouTube? That's today. I'm back when we're Pokemon VGC 2023 Regulation E team fixing. That's right, we're doing more Patreon team fixing. You guys can check out the official team submission post. It's up on Patreon right now. If you guys have a team you guys want me to take a look at and do my very best to fix and make a video for, just like we're doing for this one, think about checking out the Patreon. There's a link to it in the description. Even the lowest tier, the $2 tier, gets access to all of the team fixing posts, all of the articles I write on Patreon. We're really active over there, and we would love to have you. We already have fixed a couple teams. We're fixing this team today from William, and they have a Screamtail team. Let's take a look at the Pokepaste first. It's going to be a booster energy Screamtail with like HOWL Encore with like 5 really strong physical attackers, like a Shempow, an Adamant Shempow, a Close Combat Hands, a standard Choice Scarf Lando, a really cool Clear Amulet Rillaboom, which I'm really excited to play with, and last but not least, a really standard, like, banded Hisuian Arcanine. This is actually a really cool team, and even before getting into these games, I think you guys could be adding this rent code to your own games and trying it and getting, like, free wins. This will take you right to Master Ball. Very solid team. I think the only things I'm really not vibing with is the lack of speed control, the lack of being able to protect, to weave in those howls, but I do think there's very good defensive tears on this team, and you can actually be a really big bully. This team has both Rillaboom and Hands, and what I really like about that is you can actually lead the Iron Hands into most matchups, even if they have the Entity to be able to pivot in and stop you from fake outing. You can always pivot in your Rillaboom after leading with like an Arcanine or something, getting that free Intimidate, regaining terrain control, being able to fake out, and then fake outing again on turn 2. It's a really cool way to play against Entity, which has been really popular lately. So add this round code to your teams, and yeah, just sit back, max relax. We're going to play some games with this team. Then we're going to be going into a team fixing guide where we break down what I like about the team, what I don't like about the team, what I think it could do a little bit better, and then we're going to play some games on Showdown. So if this is sort of content you like, leave a comment, let me know, and without further ado, let's get right into these battles. Wish me luck. Here we go. So yeah, like teams like this are really hard to beat because we don't really have like a ton of speed control. I think one really good thing this team can do versus like teams like that is like against like Psy Spam in general is even like lead Hands. The advantage of having Hands and Rill on the same team really nice because you can actually fake out whoever you want and swap in that Rill to take away the terrain. So I am still going to lead like that because I think it's a solid lead. You want to bring the Rill in the back in that situation, and then you want to lead with something that just disincentivizes whatever they're going to be doing, something that has like an ability that activates upon being sent out. So like this is a really solid lead into a lot of Psy Spam. This is a really solid lead into like whatever our opponents are trying to do over there. Even if they have like Torn Urshi, I still think this is a pretty solid lead. Then from there, like I said, we want the Rilla, and because we don't really have that much speed control, I really wonder what we should be doing in this last spot, because like I feel like Landorus is going to get really pinned. I feel like we have enough tools to take out the Urshi, but I don't really know if like Screamtail is going to be the right mon for this situation. Like Screamtail gets a boost to speed on this set here, but like I don't think it's valuable enough because we don't have like the protects to weave in. That's one of the things, like you can use house sets all you want, but unless you're like weaving in the right you know, protects to actually get the boost off, it's not going to be that valuable. That being said, we still should bring it because that's the mon they want us to feature. That's the whole point of this team, is to feature this Screamtail. And yeah, let's just go into this and see how this goes. This is a pretty bulky set. Screamtail is one of those really cool Pokemon. I have a singles video coming out relatively soon that features one, and it's way bulkier than people give it credit for, especially when you pair it with like Intimidate. So this is a really cool lead that we see. We're going to be able to fake out that Urshi, hard switch in our Rilla, and then have a pin, force that Entity out, and then punish that slot. So it's going to be really cool. So Psy Surge is active. They think they're super safe here. They think they're so safe here. We can actually fake out either of these slots. It doesn't really matter. We don't even technically have to, but they're probably going Follow Me. So I don't want to take any damage on my Rilla at all. I'm just going to click the fake out here, and remember, we're swapping out the Arcanine for a Rillaboom. I'm going to grab my hat. I didn't want to brush my hair today, so we're going to wear a hat. Bam. Alright. Here we go. So let's see what they're going to be doing here. So again, this is going to take away that Psychic terrain. We're going to be able to fake out whoever we want. And I didn't want to take like a Surging Strikes in my Rilla because we're not using like a bulkier Rillaboom. We're using a lot more aggressive Rillaboom. And they're pivoting out the Entity. Really good play from them. They're anticipating this Rillaboom coming in. I love to see that play from them. But we are disincentivizing a lot of what they're doing. And they're not even going to be able to get their terrain boost because we swapped out a faster Pokemon first. Really cool. Now they can swap out this Urshifu for that Entity. I think that's a great play. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I will just be wild charging the Sneasler this turn though. And most likely just pivoting back in this Arcanine to potentially block a poison attack and anticipate the Entity swapping in, get a good Intimidate. We're in a very, very good spot here, I would say, because they should be swapping an Entity relatively soon. So let's see what they want to do here. They have Fake Out on the Sneeze, so I don't think they're going to use it because they should be pairing it with Entity. Yep, there's Entity's going to be coming in right here. 1, 2, 3, Entity. And, yeah, for everyone that missed, like, Sword and Shield, this is basically what the Sword and Shield meta was. Like, Rillaboom, Entities, pivoting in and out, weaving in Intimidates when you can. And the speed tiers of these Pokemon that are switching out are so important. I don't know if this Iron Hands one-shot Sneasler with a Wild Charge, but I wouldn't be surprised because we have 212 on Adamant Nature. We have a lot of investment, a lot more than I normally run on Hands. So, like, hey, we're taking this all the way to the bank, and then next time we can, like, swap out Hands for Rillaboom and E-speed that Sneasler if we need just a little bit more damage. Dire Claw, we already talked about that going in that slot. Hopefully no RNG. Para never lucky. 100% unlucky. I think I've been absolutely bodied by Dire Claw for like what feels like the past, I'm not going to say like two months, but like it feels like every single Dire Claw hits me really hard. And now we actually can't E-speed through the Follow Me. You could have E-speeded through it. That's really unfortunate. I think we're actually still fine though. I think I'm going to Wild Charge the Entity because I think there's a good shot that they want to bring in something like Urshifu, and I'd like to catch that. And then I'm just going to click Rock Slide. I actually think that, like, if you want to close combat me, I think that that's fine. Let me get a free swap into my Scream Tail. And at this point, Arcanine being paralyzed makes it more like a liability than like something worth keeping on the board. Again, you have to click that. I mean, you could Dire Claw my Iron Hands, but yeah, we know you're close combating here. And it sucks I got parried. If I didn't get parried, I would have done something completely different. I'm going to swap out for the Rillaboom and continue to play like a really, really good, like solid pivot game. But what are you really going to do? I'll take this free damage on Entity, and I should be able to bring out... Rillaboom's good here. I think Rillaboom's good here. Ooh, it's Rocky Helmet Entity. Don't see that one as often. So let's see. Rillaboom is good here. I think I'm actually going to bring out the Rillaboom, and I think I'm going to close... sorry, not close. I think I'm going to Grassy Glide the Sneasler. Force to follow me. Would you follow me? I mean, I could just Fake Out. Yeah, actually, I like that a lot. We could just Fake Out the Sneasler and Wild Charge the Entity. I like that. And they're assuming that we're vested, but we're not. We have Protect. So that's really cool. The way that they would stop this is by double protecting to wait out our Fake Out. And then next turn going for a Follow Me, we would then go for a Protect Rilla attack. But you know that they're probably just swapping in the Urshi or something else. That's why we're still Wild Charging that slot. Want to catch that Urshi if possible. Survey says, Shempow. Dude, we catch those. We'd be catching those. Now, I could have Drain Punch there. I wanted to catch the Urshi. They do have the Protect, but, you know, I still think I have a good enough shot here. We're going to be able to really tunnel them into attacking this Rillaboom slot next turn. It's going to be great. So here we go, Wild Charge. It's going to make me take a lot of recoil. I'm not a big fan of Wild Charge. I think that like Thunder Punch is just as good on a lot of sets. On this set, you know, you probably should be using Wild Charge, but I don't like that recoil. And most things are a two-shot anyways. That's the thing is it's like, unless you're picking up Okos with Wild Charge, just two-shot them with Thunder Punch and don't take the recoil. That being said, they're going to swap out for Indeedee, I'm sure. I'm actually just going to drop a Protect here for one turn. I think that's actually a solid play. Pivot. Indeedee, cool. We're not taking that damage. They probably think if they get the Rillaboom off the board or can seal up that slot, they win the game. They shouldn't be going after Iron Hands. Like, they might. They really might, but I doubt it. And then next turn they'll have like Shempow or Urshifu with a little bit of Redirection. That should be fine. But they should not be expecting this Protect at all. At all. Whoa, they actually ignored it. Oh my gosh, dude, that's so unlucky. Good play though. I can't believe they would do that. Who would do that? They would have just lost the game there if I just like clicked an attacking move. Because like Psy Spam right there, that the Psy Train doesn't stop Grassy Glide. It just makes it not a priority move. I still would have been able to use it to kill your Indeedee. Hey, it's fine. Good play from them. Trying to think of what we need to do here. Arcanine got paralyzed and got gimped. Shempow's low. They have a Redirection. Protects on cooldown. We still have Scream Tail. I think Scream Tail's a very, very good mon. We still have Terra. What's a Terra on this Rillaboom? Is it like fire? Steel. Yo, that works for me. Works for me. Alright, so we're going to pivot in this Scream Tail. Ooh, Fairy Terra here. I think we should have a different Terra. Maybe something like Ghost, probably just a little bit more optimal. And yeah, I think we're going to have to Terra. I'm going to target down the Shenpao. I don't really care about your Entity. I could have targeted on your Entity reading a Protect Shenpao. And if I caught that there, I'd be able to Encore. I don't think they're going like Protect Shenpao Psychic. I don't think that's the play. If that is the play, yeah, more power to them. But like, we'll see what they're going to do here. But Steel Terra Rillaboom's kind of nice. And then all we need to do to beat the Urshifu in the back is like pivot in the hands, come back out, regain our terrain, and then we should be able to just Grassy Glide out and win the game. Should. I say should. Screamtail's also kind of nice versus Urshifu in my opinion. Icicle Crash. Yep, no flinchies, please. No flinchies. Please don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Orb Shenpao. Wow. Psyshock. Oh! You don't really ever see Psyshock getting. That's kind of nice, actually. We get Never Luckied. 100%. Absolutely massive Never Lucky. We are faster than the Shenpao. I think I can get away with clicking this, though. Like, what are you going to do to me? Can't. I mean, I could go for the Protect. Now, they're going to have Sacred Sword. So, like, what I'm going to actually do is just go Play Rough here. I'm going to hard switch this guy out for Iron Hands. And I think that that's going to be fine. Never Lucky Flinch. No, we've been paralyzed by Dire Claw. We've been flinched by Icicle Crash. Like, holy moly. Like, the amount of outplay we're actually having to do in this game is ridiculous. But, hey, you know, that's Pokemon, right? Literally never lucky. I was going to say, watch, this player-up's going to miss, right? I'm trying to think of what they could really do. Like, we are faster than their Shenpao, I think. We should be. 145, yeah, we're faster than Shenpao. Protect is absolutely fine. I don't care what they're going to do Psychic. I just want to regain my terrain. So, double Protect. Cool, this is fine. Yeah, I don't think there's really an issue here. So, we can Encore that. Or we can just try and still KO it, you know? We can even swap out. Like, swap in Rilla, go for like a Fake Out. I wonder if that would KO the Shenpao. I think it would. I really do think that it would. If we swapped in, like, that, I think that would KO. I'm going to try it. This is a 212 attack Adamant Hands. Like, a 40 base power move is still a lot of damage. I want to try and get this KO with Fake Out. Come on, Hands. Come on, Brian. Show us what you're working with. So, Grassy Surge one last time. And if we take out the Shenpao, they can't, like, re-pivot to, like, get, like, another... Oh, yes. They can't, like... Oh, we got a crit on the Fake Out. Yeah, we take this all the way to the bank. They can't re-pivot to reset terrain. So now they have Urshi, which is a good Mon. Do the follow me. Nice follow me, bro. Yeah, and at this point, we're just going to be able to probably... I think the right play would be to, like... Well, let's see. Who's restoring health? The Entity restored health first, right? Yeah, the Entity and Rillaboom share the same base speed tier. I think Grassy Glide would still KO the Entity, and then do Wild Charge, and then we should be able to get the win. So, good stuff. I think we're doing our absolute best here. They still have Terra, but I think that, like, Screamtail is actually just a good Mon here. We can catch him in an Encore loop or something. I think Grassy Glide should be able to KO here. And then I'm thinking, like, they're probably just going to be Water Terra. I'm just going to click Wild Charge into it, and I don't want to swap out Iron Hands or anything. Maybe I should. Kind of hard to say, but I think this is fine. Because what this does is this forces them to have, like, a very... Like, oh, maybe they have, like, Dragon Terra Entity. That would suck. Okay, I was like, I know they're terastallizing with water, right? It's water. It's always water. So you have to hit the Iron Hands, right? If you hit the Rillaboom, Rillaboom's already doing its thing into the Entity slot. There's the Follow Me. Cool beans. You have to click Follow Me. Hopefully we get the KO here with this Grassy Glide. Grassy Terrain boosted, 252 Adamant Grassy Glide. Does get the KO, so again, you have to hit the Iron Hands. If you do not, you are losing. And if you... I mean, even if you do hit it, I just Grassy Glide you next turn, bro. They're going to go into Rillaboom. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely fine. Go into Rillaboom. We take those all the way to the bank. And the Wild Charge was the right play. So yeah, we just basically pivoted around terrains for most of this match. We got pretty unlucky, and we were still able to win. So, I mean, this team does work. There's absolutely nothing really wrong with, like, the Mons on this team. We even, like, brought the Screamtail wherein it wasn't needed. It would have been a probably easier game if we would have brought Shenpao, but I wanted to feature it just a little bit, so we're going to take this first win. I think, like I said, I think this team does a lot of things right. If we were to take a look at, like, the Poke Paste here, I think the Screamtail is like a really, really good mon, but it's really hard to use like HOWL to, you know, boost your attacks. So the way that you usually use it is like you use HOWL and your teammate protects, but we only really have like, we have one protect here, we have one protect here, and the fact that these mons can't weave and protect, so we have to like swap them in, which you don't really want to swap in like your Shenpao. Yeah, you can try and swap in hands. Yeah, you can swap in land. You can swap in Arcanine. I understand that. The Intimidates are really valuable, but it's just harder to use. I'm not trying to say that we shouldn't use it. I'm just trying to say like we should be a little bit more like proactive in trying our best to get those HOWL boosts. Otherwise, we should maybe even think about taking off like HOWL or something for like maybe something like speed control. I think that this team should have a little bit of speed control or that as an option, but you know, we're just going to go in the next game and see what we got here. Is that Monkey Dory? See, they have a little bit of speed control. They got that Moltres. I think Moltres is really good. That being said, Moltres can get encored by Screamtail, so I think Screamtail can definitely be led here. I think they have big Fake Out energy, which is, again, we were talking about maybe using Ghost Terra on that Screamtail. And I don't really want to like trade Fake Outs. I think that just like Screamtail is like a solid enough mon that we can lead with it, and maybe something to disincentivize a specific type of play. Like you can totally go like Trick Room with that Crest. I don't think that matters that much. Do I want to lead Arcanine or Landorus, though? I think I'm going to bring both of them this game. I think I'm going to go for like more of a U-turn strat this game. And then, do I want Iron Hands? I think everyone always wants Iron Hands. And again, I just am not the biggest fan of like the Wild Charge set, especially against teams like this. I feel like we can break Moltres just as easy with Shenpao. I'm going to try the Shenpao instead of Iron Hands. I think Machagacha Sinistcha also does a pretty good job of disincentivizing Iron Hands. So let's see how this one goes. And yeah, just let me know if you guys are still watching these videos. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm just going like straight into every single game. While we're waiting to queue up for another game, I'm going and talking a little bit about the EV spreads and what I would like slightly change. Let me know if you like that sort of, you know, analysis, or if you like all that stuff at the end. Moltres. Good mon, and we see the Monkey Dory. I've not really fought against one of those. I have not really fought against one. Now, I'm looking at our EV spreads on our mons here. We see Screamtail gets to 145 and Lando gets to 138, which means I can HOWL before this Lando. The only thing I'm worried about is like, are they going to Fake Out? This is where if we did have something like Ghost Terra, I'd be a little bit more confident, but like I'd be Fake Out on the Lando. That being said, I am going to go for the HOWL. I think it's fine. I know we're going to get Toxic Chain. I'm actually just going to click Rock Slide. I think Rock Slide's fine. It should, after the HOWL, do significant damage to the Monkey Dory, and I'm not really afraid of Fiery Wrath. It would suck to get Tailwinded here, and I can't do anything about that because they could go Ghost Terra Moltres, which means Fake Out wouldn't work. They could have Covert Cloak, goodness forbid. There's so many things that they could do that like I can't do anything against. They have Poison Terra. Okay. Poison Terra is a good Terra here. I wonder why they're clicking that. Like, are they that afraid of Play Rough? Let's see. Are they Nasty Plotting? Like, I want to see what they do. So, HOWL coming out here. They are not clicking Fake Out, which means we're going to be able to Rock Slide. This is going to give our Landorus a +1 attack boost. What if I just Stomp Again from that Moltres? What a flex that would have been. Look at this damage. I think the Sash is probably in the Monkey Dory, by the way. Sludge Bomb. Absolutely fine. We're going to be able to hold. And we do flinch the Moltres. Absolutely massive value. Massive value. Now we really have to think about what we want to get done here. We're going to be able to pin the Monkey Dory. But I'm trying to think like what I want done here. We have a +1 with this HOWL. I think I'm just going to do a second one. And yeah, we're stuck using Rock Slide. It'd be nice to be able to switch up our moves, but I don't think we necessarily need to. I'm just going to go for another Rock Slide. Yes, this is going to give it a Berserk boost, but then we have Arcanine in the back that can just come out in E-Speed from there. And I think that's fine. You should be pivoting here. This is going to give me a second boost. The once perfect. Is it Ogerpon? No. Crest. Crest is great. HOWL. A second big HOWL. I want to see what this Moltres is doing too. They also have to like low-key respect my ability to have what is it? To have Disable. Like if they had Fiery Wrath and I just click Protect here, the next turn I would be able to just disable the Fiery Wrath. Can we get another flinch? Was it Citrus? Citrus is good tech on this guy. Citrus is good tech. Fiery Wrath, yeah, go for it. You're going to +1 special attack boost. Landorus shouldn't die. Screamtail doesn't go down. So we're at +2. Look at this. Oh my gosh. +2 and +2. And this Screamtail's like decent base attack, 65. I bet we can actually just like pop this Moltres. I'm going to try it. It's more damage than adding another HOWL to the Lando. Yeah, I'll go for it. I didn't do anything else today. Protect Moltres. That's encoreable unless you get Trick Room. Which, like, I can't break the crest, so I might as well just do this. Player gonna get blocked. And let's see, are they just like Lunar Blessing? Because we can just encore that, you know? We don't know if they have Trick Room, per se. It'd be really nice to still hit this crest. Yeah, let's go. Can I get a flinch? Survey says... Trick Room. Never lucky. Never lucky. Okay, so they're going to get a Lunar Blessing off. And I'm not going to lie, this is just game. We don't have enough protects on a lot of these mons to, like, weave in and out and actually get the value that we need. We're going to go protect here. I'll go for Rock Slide here, but you see, like, I don't think we have enough, like, gas in the tank to be able to actually wait out this Trick Room. But we'll find out. We'll see. Cresselia is a hard mon to break, you know? I wouldn't be surprised if that was, like, actually even Covert Cloak Cress. But let's see. If we can take this Moltres out, they're going to lose a lot of their team's damage. Let's see if they can actually even KO the Lander here. Because it should be close. Unlucky. You know, the last time it did about 48%. That was the same after the Berserk proc, so... Let's see. We can bring in Arcanine, which shouldn't die. We can bring in this. I don't really like that. I think I'm going to bring in the Arcanine. And I wonder how much damage, like, Rock Slide even does. This is going to sound really, really weird. I think the right play is actually to just try and double protect here. And I'm just going to go for the Flare Blitz and try and get the Oko. We could also swap in Shempao to make sure that we get the Oko, but realistically, this is probably the best. It's banded. I think this is fine. We do get the double protect. I'll take those all the way to the bank. You know, all the way to the bank. 100% we'd be taking those. Lunar Blessing is fine. We're trying our best to elongate the rest of this Trick Room. There we go. And you're going to go for a Fire Wrath. Hopefully you don't flinch me, right? I mean, I flinched you earlier, right? Don't do it. Don't do it, bro. Yeah, let's see it. Survey says how much damage we're working with here. Oh my gosh, that's so much. And we get flinched. That's game. 100%. I don't see a way that you come back in this situation. So, what do they have? 2 turns left on TR. There's absolutely no way. The good news is we haven't locked in a move yet on Arcanine, because we tried to do that. I guess we could E-Speed. So we swap in Shempao here. And then we lock in, like, Fairy Terra. I think the Flare Blitz is still the right play. We need to get the thing off the board. Like, we need to get it off the board. It's just really unfortunate. So this Fire Wrath won't be able to KO me. But I don't see a way that we actually win this situation. I just don't see it. You know, good news is they've already Terra'd. Shempao's good versus Cress. Trying to think of what else we can actually do here. It's just like Cress came in and just really made things bad. Close team sheet Cress is hard to beat because, like, you don't know if they're Rocky Helmet. You don't know if they're Mental Herb. You don't know if they're Covert Cloak. Moonblast into our Shempao on the swap. That is... absolutely, I said Shempao, right? Like, that's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god. And then another flinch, right? Show me the other flinch. Show me the other flinch. Show it to me. And what was I going to do in that situation? I could have just fought with the Scream Tail, but, like, I needed to get the Shempao and to actually have, like, something to do. Yeah, we needed the Shempao damage try to be able to get that. So, we'll take this L. But, again, like, this is kind of what I was talking about. Like, so we have access to, fake outs, right? But fake outs don't, like, solve a lot of matchups on close team sheet ladder. Like, they could be Covert Cloak on any of those mons. They also had a faster fake out user. So if I wanted to lead, like, Iron Hands to stop them from doing something, or I wanted to lead, like, Rillaboom, they had a faster fake out user. They could have fake outed our fake out users. And so I do think that, like, we need, like, something else to help us versus Trick Room. I think we need, like, something else to help us against, like, oh, let's just take a look at, like, the team. I think we need, like, something else to help us versus Trick Room. We need something else to help us to fight, like, Tailwinds. Like, I understand that, like, we have, like, priority here, this is fake out, this is fake out. We have, like, priority over here. I still don't think that against, like, good Trick Room teams, that's the right way to play it, especially because, like, you know, Indity and stuff like that is so prevalent. We also aren't even running, like, Ice Spinner to be able to take away the terrain. I understand that clashes with Rilla, so it can be kind of difficult. But that being said, I think that, like, after playing 2 games with this team, I'm seeing that like Landorus and Arcanine do a lot of the same role, and I'm not seeing the actual value that Landorus brings to the table while we already have Arcanine. I think that if we were to make this into like something that could help us out against Trick Room, or like something that could help us out in like other aggressive matchups, it might be a good idea. We tried the HOWL tech, right? But it's not really panning out. Maybe if Screamtail had like an anti-Trick Room tag, I'm not trying to say we go as far as Imprison Trick Room, but that might also be a way to do it. So we're going up against this match right here. Very, very solid. Like, I don't necessarily know what we're supposed to do here, because like they're going to booster past me with that Roaring Moon. I think we have to actually lead very, very passively as well. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go Screamtail and Arcanine. This should bait like really overcommits from like their Iron Bundle. Right, and then we won't be able to get killed by knockoff on the Screamtail because we're going to be losing our booster. Then we're going to pivot in the Rilla on that, and then we're on the HOWL. We're going to be able to then repin the Iron Bundle. That's the idea. But then we're also like really, really pinned, I would say, by that Heatran. So we have to bring Iron Hands here, which makes us a little bit more susceptible than Landorus than I would like. But I do think we have shots in this matchup. I'm trying my best in these games to actually use all of the Pokemon that I can and try my best to play the teams the way they were submitted. This team didn't have like a play style that they really said that they like to do, but I do think that this is good. I will say that like if we're taking a look at like the Screamtail moveset, I think that like Encore is really good when you have Protect, but I feel like unless you have Disable, it's really hard to actually maximize just Encore on this thing. That being said, I still think this team's doing a like 99.9% of things right. I'm just trying to take it just a little bit further. So Grim and Roaring Moon. So we're going to start things off with a valuable Intimidate. And I'm trying to think of what I actually want to do here. We have so many options here, actually. So Screamtail Speed Heighten. And Roaring Moon didn't get a speed. Roaring Moon didn't get a boost, did it? So what if I just want, like... Are you dead? I didn't see it get a boost. What are you going to do to my Arcanine? Are you going to knock off me? Like, do I care? Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens here. We have 2 fake outs in the back. We can do so many different things. I didn't see a booster. Maybe one went off and I was like alt-tabbed or something. But they're going to go Terra turn 1. I don't care if they want to go like Poison Terra and be like support Roaring Moon. That doesn't bother me. You can go Fairy Terra as well. That's absolutely okay. You're wasting your Terra, not wasting, but you're using your Terra on a mon that's already intimidated. So, like, we take those. So here we go. And if they use the wrong move, again, we don't really have a way to stop Tailwind here. It'd be nice to, I really am a fan of Screamtails with Thunder Wave. So you can see them, you can always Thunder Wave their Tailwind setter or Thunder Wave their other mon, and then from there, then you, like stuff like Encore and stuff works, because after you Thunder Wave them, you would still be faster, and you can Encore them into Tailwind. Is this Parting Shot? Okay. Not bad. Are you bringing in a Lando? Really ballsy to just go for like Parting Shot instead of putting up the Reflect Burst. Tells me that they might not have it. We got 2 fairies on the board. There is the Lando there. So this Lando's going to take like half. This is absolutely fine. We're just going to pivot in Rilla next turn. I'll be able to come back out with the Arcanine, Intimidate in just a little bit. Maybe we even Protects. See if they're going for something weird. Let's see. Knockoff. There it is. Cool. Now I can use a different move if I feel like it. Awesome. Yeah, that's fine. An attack drop off that player would have been really nice, though. Let's see. This is going to do like 35%, maybe 40%. Nah, way less. That's a bulky Lando. I don't think that's Scarf Lando. I don't think that's Scarf Lando. I'm going to Howl and just pivot in the Rilla like we were talking about. Save our Intimidate on the Arcanine for a little bit later. And I don't think they're double knockoffing into that spot. They might, because they know they can get an item off it or just get some good damage. But let's see, they might just be... You wouldn't really Breaking Swipe here. If you had Tailwind, I would set it right here this turn. This is the turn to do that. So HOWL happens. Give our Rilla a +1. And it looks like they're not... I wonder if they're just U-turning with Lando. That'd be a really good play. I love that from them. Great stuff. They U-turn into the Screamtail as well. I wonder why Screamtail instead of Arcanine. I would have definitely wanted the Arcanine slot. Just because like it was pretty obvious swap and you could have actually gotten a lot of tempo if I wanted to swap in like a Shenpao or something. Grimmsnile's back, so we have a fake out pin here. Knock off in a Screamtail, but we already lost our item, so it doesn't really matter. We're going to lose our Clear Amulet this turn, but I think this is going to be okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Howl, and I'm going to fake out. Now, I know that the Landorus is going to come back in, but the Landorus after like weaving in a couple parting shots and stuff, the Landorus can't Terra here, right? Because they've already terrestrialized the Roaring Moon, which means like I don't care because you can never Terra Blast him with that you can't actually fight the Rillaboom. Yeah, see, like they're swapping that guy out for Lando here. They're actually trying to like swap out like parting shot and do like a whole bunch of other stuff, and I'm like, nah, no. We're just gonna vibe here. We're just gonna vibe. Clear Amulet doesn't let Rillaboom get dropped. I do love the Clear Amulet on this set. Very, very cool. I think I can actually OHKO that Landorus at +2. So that's going to be the idea. We're probably just going to double into Landorus because it would get redirected into the Grim if it didn't KO. And we're faster than the Landorus, I think, with the Screamtail. Cool. So play rough there. Don't forget to PP max your... Let me see. What moves are PP maxed here? At least, so the Encore needs to be PP maxed. I would also PP max this move, just because like you never really know. But play rough goes into there. This Grassy Glide should KO Lando at +2. It's definitely worth trying. It's not even at full, so like I think we can take the Lando out. Grassy Glide, this goes before the Grim does stuff, so even if they want to reflect or parting shot, we're still getting that big damage up. And let's see if they're going to parting shot or reflect. Thunder Wave. See, I told you the value of Thunder Wave. I was telling you all about the value of Thunder Wave. And let's see if it's actually valuable. Survey says, oh, +2. That's a lot of damage, actually. We are intimidated on the Screamtail. I think we're actually back down at neutral. I think we've been intimidated twice. Is that Citrus Grim? It's personally my favorite Grim set in this format. It's really good on parting shot sets too. But let's see. I think we are back down at neutral. We're not even at +2 anymore on Screamtail. I know we've been intimidated by Lando at least once, if not twice. So let's see what happens here. We could Encore them into Thunder Wave to make it sure. No, because it's not Prankster boosted. Yeah, that's not a bad play. Yeah, we're back to neutral. I'm trying to think what they're gonna do against Rillaboom. I'm not afraid of acrobatics. I'm actually going to use HOWL. I'll go for one more HOWL, and I'm just gonna protect. Yeah, I want to see if they have acrobatics, and if they go for the wrong move, maybe we can go for an Encore or something. So let's see what they have. Thunder Wave into the Rillaboom, not happening. No reason to Encore that either. We know they want to do it, so why even give them the option? Knockoff, we're not letting them knock off either. This is good for us. So what I'm going to do here is probably next turn swap out the Screamtail. Unlucky para. Very, very unlucky. I'm going to swap out for Arcanine. And I think I'm going to Woodhammer the Roaring Moon. I just want it off the board. I could go for the Thunder... If I would have gotten that Howl off, I would have went for the Grassy Glide. But I don't think it'll get the KO. So I'm going to swap in the Arcanine. And I'm just going to go for the Woodhammer. I could just KO that Grim here. No, I think this is fine. I think this is okay. They don't have acrobatics, which is what I was scared of. Actually, acrobatics and knockoff are about the same, realistically, because like acrobatics would be doubled. And they didn't really lose their item, so I don't know why I'm even afraid of it. Let's see what they want to do here. Thunder Wave into the Rilla. Can't really stop that. Again, I could have went for a Grassy Glide on the Roaring Moon. I don't think that would have KO'd. Roaring Moon's like chonkier than we think. And that's what makes it so good. Yep, there we go. And any paras? There we go, you're dead. Dunzo. Dunzo McGee. Nice. Alright, so you have two Pokemon left. Grimmsnarl is one of them. This is going to be able to turn off its ability to use parting shots. We still have all four of our Mons. We can pivot in. The value in this team is, like, I think going back into seeing, like, how we need to be playing this. Like, the Rillaboom hands combo of, like, being able to have, like, multiple fake outs is how we need to be playing this team. I just wish we had, like, a little bit of speed control. I just wish we had, like, a smidge of speed control. So if it was up to me, I would be using something with speed control instead of the Landorus. That's just my opinion. They have their own Rillaboom. Yo, they reactivated the grassy terrain. Yo, appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you a long time. I'm going to click Flare Blitz into this, and I'm going to click Grassy Glide into this, and I'm going to win the game. You can fake out one of them, but we got this wrapped up. Thank you for bringing your Rillaboom. Thank you. And our Rillaboom is still at +2, so we should be able to finish off the Grim from here. So we're in a great spot. They can go for the parting shot, but, like, you can't parting shot the Rillo. We got that Clear Amulet, dude. Clear Amulet's so good. Grassy Glide comes in hot. OHKO's the Grimmsnarl. Let's see what their Rillaboom's doing. Is it Stomping Tantrum? Like, I don't really care. Flare Blitz. We're still faster than them. We're at -1, and you know, they get to live. They live for now. For now. They go for the U-turn. It's not even going to get the KO. Oh, it does. Wow. So in this situation, I would say it's probably still the best idea because we've also shown Screamtail. You don't want to show your last Mon. I'm surprised that KO'd. I mean, our Rillaboom EV spread needs a little bit of work, in my opinion. And that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to fixing. But you don't really want to even show that you brought hands this matchup, just in case you were to fight this person in like another game like an hour later. You don't even want to show that you would like to bring hands to the matchup, even though hands is a very good mon in this matchup. You can get away with just doing these exact same things. We're going to go for the Flare Blitz. We're going to go for... I mean, it really doesn't even matter what we go for here. Grassy Glide shouldn't be able to KO us, unless they're banded. Yeah, it doesn't even matter if they're banded. We take these wins. Flare Blitz busted, and yeah, I think this team does a lot of things right, but like just a smidge, just a pinch, like an icy wind. Like let me have some form of speed control. I think it'd be really, really nice to have. So what we're going to be doing is taking a look at the rental code. We're going to be taking a look at basically everything that this team does and going into a team fixing guide. This is your reminder if you got this far in the video and you like this sort of content, think about leaving a like, think about leaving a comment on the video, and if you want to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. I do my absolute best with these videos, and I take them all in one take, you know? I don't like stop, take breaks, make notes. I do it all in like a single take for the most part. So I'd appreciate it. I'm going to open up the rental menu and go to the Borrow Battle team. Show you guys this code one more time, and feel free to use this code. It's actually a very, very solid team. Again, I wish we had just a slightly better matchup against Trick Room. I wish we had just a little bit more of like a potential to bluff my ability to go like fake out Tailwind. I think that'd be so nice. What I would really like here is, believe it or not, a mon that has Tailwind and Taunt. So you can go like fake out Taunt into like Taunt the other one, and then something like, you know, fake out Tailwind. And so that's what I would want to do. And I think there's one mon that can fit really well in this team. And correct me if I'm wrong. I know you're probably not going to want to hear how this goes, but there's one mon. So let's see. If we were to take the Landorus off the board, we want something that still kind of does what Landorus does, being like a bully and being able to oppress people, but we don't really need Landorus and Arcanine. I feel like the way that you're using them, they do the exact same thing. So we want something that can also have Protect, so we can weave it in with the Scream Tail and actually still benefit from the Scream Tail. You don't want to put like a Flutter here because that's a special attacker. We want physical attackers. So we're looking for stuff that gets Tailwind, and we're looking for stuff that gets Taunt. And I think Taunt is still super good in Battle Stadium. So all of these Pokemon work. Now you could put something like a Pheasantipity or like, you know, a Hydreigon. There's a bunch of cool mons. Moltres is a special attacker. I think Hisui Decidueye is a really, really cool mon for this specific team. I like it a lot. It gets a few really cool moves that you would not think that this guy gets. It gets the Scrappy ability, which is absolutely amazing. It can hold a really, really cool item, but it does get Tailwind, right? It does get Taunt. And then it gets a really, really cool move. What's that? It's like triple kick. Triple arrows. So it's a 90 base power fighting move. It has a high crit ratio. It can drop their defense and has a 30% chance to punch. It has all three of these special things. It's so, so good. But it gets one more move that I feel like really ups its game. Because what was Lando's job? I think Lando's job was to disincentivize Urshifu play, because you can just go turn one and Ogerpon play. I think this guy does a good enough job. It's also like a grass fighting, which I think is like a really, really unique typing. It gets Grassy Glide still, which I think this is really cool. You could put Protect here. You could totally put Protect here. No one's saying that you can't. I like this. I like this a lot. I think this is really, really cool. The item that I like to use on this guy is a Covert Cloak. So that way they can try and fake out you. You don't care. You get up this value. Similar to like your Rillaboom, how you have like that Clear Amulet to stop them from intimidating you, so you can always play to like your own strengths. This guy does the same thing. It doesn't even need to carry Protect. So you got the Covert Cloak, which means you can always Tailwind. You can always Grassy Glide. And if they want to swap in those fake out users to stop you from pinning them in the late game, you don't have to. A lot of people like to lead when they go like Trick Room. They lead like Iron Hands and like the Trick Room setter. You can just soak the fake out, taunt the Trick Room setter, and they lose the game. Right? I like this guy a lot. The Terra that I tend to go here is you would normally want to go Ghost if you weren't Covert Cloaked, but you can double dip your Grass. It's so much damage. You can also go something like Fire if you want just like a little bit more damage mitigation, because it is still like a grass fighting type. Steel is also a very good one because it stops those big flying attacks. Like Rock also does work. I think Steel is probably going to be the best, but I like to work on my Terras a little bit later. We're going to start at the very top and go down these mons. Take a look at our EV spread, see if there's anything that we would like to fix or change. I think this is fine. Still getting that boost to speed makes this Pokemon actually function the way it's supposed to function. Protect is nice here. Player's nice here. Howl's nice here. Encore's nice here. It'd be nice to see Disable, and the only move we'd really be able to cut for that would be Protect. Same thing, if we want to put Thunder Wave, we'd have to cut Protect. I don't think you want to cut Protect. So I think that you actually nailed how this Screamtail needs to be played. Really, really cool. I think you did a great job. Shempow, I'm not a big fan of the Lash Out and the Sucker Punch. I think Lash Out actually losing a little bit of power, as opposed to like a Crunch would be better. Or sorry, it's not worth the trade-off, you know, because like if you're worried about Intimidate like that much, it's also like Lash Out says 2 times power if the user had a stat lowered this turn. So like let's say you're already at like +1 or +2 from Howl, and they like lower your stat. It needs to actually lower your stats below like negative. You need to go into the negative. It's just like a White Herb. It won't activate if you already had like positive boost. So it's actually not as easy to activate this as you might think. So I would just say Sacred Sword here. And one other thing to look at when we're taking a look at this guy is you have Poison Terra on it. I think Poison Terra is fine. I don't think that there's a problem with Ghost though. I think Poison Terra is fine, but like you don't need that defensive Terra to not get KO'd on something that like has a sash. And we're going to take a look at why that's important. Like, what you're thinking is like, I can probably block Drain Punch. You can also block that with a Ghost Terra, right? So I would just go Ghost Terra, because this is going to let you outvalue like other like priority move users that are using E-Speed. This is going to let you outvalue Fake Out users. It's going to let you block other fighting attacks. Ghost is just standard. And another thing here is you have like points in defense and you have like adamant but not full attack. You can take this one of 2 ways. You can actually just go full 252, 252, because you have a sash, and you have the ability to recap your sash with your Rillaboom terrain. So you don't actually need to even think about putting any points in like bulk or mitigating any damage because you're sashed, right? So you can go like adamant, right? You can go something like adamant, and that's completely fine. Or you can go something like just Jolly, and I would just go Jolly. This is one of the situations, in my opinion, where like simple is better. So, like, being able to have, like, your Dark Attack, your Sacred Sword, your Icicle Crash. Remember, you don't want to take away your own Rillaboom terrain, so that's why I have Icicle Crash for Spinner on this one. I get that. And then you just have to hit as fast as possible. You really don't want to lose those Shempow speed ties. I'd say Shempow's actually pretty good against this team. Like, it's neutral into there. It can Sacred Sword there. It can Ice Attack there. It can Ice Attack here. It's not too great into Iron Hands, but, you know, you get the idea. Iron Hands can get flinched by Icicle Crash all day. You need to be able to actually bully other Shempows with Sacred Sword, and this is one of those situations where I think simple is better. Just go with a very standard Shempow set and it works. As for Iron Hands, I think you're doing a lot of things right. I think this like heavy speed hands is doing things really well. You're like the Grass Terra on it. If you want to keep this full, like not full, but like heavy attack hands, absolutely fine. This is a personal preference thing, and I think that like what you like to do with this team is probably like fake out the Urshi when they would like Torn Urshi, and then you just like Wild Charge, let them get up Tailwind, and then from there you try and bulk out and use priority moves to, you know, punish for the fact that like they wanted to go out of their way with speed control and they're starting the game off with 3 mons instead of 4 because they're getting Wild Charge in the first turn. I think it's a really, really cool way to play it. And this is how you would play that. I'm not the biggest fan of close combat here, but I understand the value. Like, I do understand. There's some things that, like, after Intimidate, Drain Punch won't KO the things you need to KO. You still need to get the KOs. That's what close combat's for. Like, it does have value. So if you want to keep that, that's fine. Other options are things like Heavy Slam, Volt Switch. I prefer Ice Punch in some situations if your team's weak to Lando. This team's not super weak to Lando, so you don't need it, but, like, yeah, I like it a lot. As for the Decidueye, we were talking about what Terras to go. I think Steel Terra is a solid Terra here. It's going to let you block. It's weird, right? What are our weaknesses, right? We're a grass fighting. We have weaknesses to Ice, Psychic, you know, Flying, Fire, like the Fairy. We're weak against everything here. So like Steel could cover up for like the Flying. It could cover up for the Fairy. It could cover for a lot of things, but then we still have weaknesses to like Fire. Rock would cover up for that weakness to Fire, but then like we're adding like a whole bunch of other weaknesses. Fire would make it so we're obviously resisting the Fire, but then we're weak against like Ground and Water, and there's a whole bunch of other things. We could also just double dip our grass. We could go something like Fairy and just play it very standard, very neutral. In terms of like other Terras, I think this thing can go in a wide variety. I don't necessarily think you need something like Dragon Terra. Dragon Terra is only good if you have a weakness against like Ogerpon, because it's good against all the Ogerpon forms. But that being said, yeah, I think this Pokemon can do a bunch of different things. I think that like double dipping your grass is okay. I think steel is probably what I would go here though. I'm just a fan of steel Terra on this guy. It lets it really punish those fairies. If you want poison, poison's another solid option. Fire's another solid option, but not being able to just get rolled by Fluttermane, that's the whole idea behind this guy. And then the triple arrows is still going to be able to hit that Fluttermane because of our scrappy ability. So that being said, how much speed do you need on this Pokemon? Because remember, we're going to be adding a Tailwind to the team, which means we need to be able to function with Tailwind Calcs involved. Now, luckily, all these Pokemon actually do kind of work with Tailwind Calcs involved. You'd have to get to, like, a lot more speed. You'd have to get to, like, 84 to even outspeed base 100s with hand, so it's not even worth it. But with this guy, I think the benchmark is getting to, like, 107. This is going to let you outspeed Dragapult while you have a Tailwind up. Again, you can hit Dragapult with that triple arrows. This is going to let you have a faster Grassy Glide than other Rillabooms because we're actually putting a lot of speed investment. And then from there, it's, well, some Rillabooms. But then also, like, we can afford to put a lot of our points back into, like, attack and other bulk. So I think this is going to be fine. It's not as fast as it could be, but it's also faster than most people think this guy's going to be. We actually can get away with going at 252 attack here. And also, I was going to say, like, by outspeeding Dragapult, there's a 142 base speed. We're going to them by proxy outspeed things like Iron Bundle that's using Sash, Flutter that's not using a booster speed, and Shempow that's just a Shempow. So being able to outspeed Shempow is actually kind of nice. Very, very nice for this guy, actually. So I like it a lot. And we resist the Sucker Punch, so they kind of have to just take the L. But yeah, I would go Adamant here. And then from there, we have 44 points, and you can easily just put those in HP, which is a good place to put this. Guy's actually kind of bulky, but what you actually want to do is put a 36 here and cut that last 8 up into 2 sets of 4. 2 sets of 4 are going to be worth more than just 1 point in HP, so 2 is more than 1. Remember, the first 4 actually give you a point, and after that, it's every 8. So this is going to be a very standard EV spread for this guy. He's going to be kind of bulky. If you want to take some more points out of attack and put those in HP and bulk, be my guest, but this is the very standard way to do it. After that, Rillaboom. I think a Rillaboom set needs a little bit of work. I would get my Rillaboom to something like 113, just to be able to not get fake outed or grassy glided by other Rillabooms. Most Rillabooms go to 107, and then from there they go to 112, which is going to let them outspeed base 100s if there's like a -1 calc from like an Icy one or a Bleak one involved. So this is going to let you outspeed them by like 1 point, so you still have the faster fake out, you still have the faster grassy glide, and then from there there's nothing really wrong with doing like a 4-4 again, and then like a 188. So you're still kind of as bulky, you're still hitting just as hard, but now you're a little bit faster, so now you can go for wood hammers in situations you wouldn't be able to. You can go for a more safe fake out and grassy glide if you need to, and it's just good. As for Arcanine, this is fine. Arcanine, see the reason how you see we split the 4 up, they split the 4 up and put them up there instead, and that's because Arcanine has a higher base HP, like a significantly higher base HP than its defenses, so prioritizing putting the points in spit up first, nothing really wrong with that on this Arcanine set. I think it's a solid set. This is how you play Banded Arcanine, so it looks really good. The last thing I would really want to do is move around the... We could also think about cutting one of these for a Heatran. That could be kind of cool. But yeah, I think just moving around your team period a little bit to separate your grass types, but being able to go for that big grassy glide, they're not going to see this coming. And now we have options to go for like fake out taunts against Trick Room. So I think the changes that we made are pretty important, pretty impactful so far. What we're going to do now is go take a look at, you know, just a game on Showdown, and we're going to go try our best to get some wins. We're going to be playing this on just the regular ladder because I think that's how this team was submitted for. You know, you wouldn't really be using Clear Amulet Rillaboom in like open team sheet. This looks like more of a closed team sheet type game. Same thing with like Screamtail. Seems like more of a closed team sheet ladder type team. So we're just going to go into this. We're just going to make a random team name and just go right into it. So thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. I really do appreciate everyone stopping by and, you know, spending time with me, you know, to team build and learn a little bit more about the game. Really, really cool team here. I like the Amoonguss. Amoonguss is not going to be very good into our team, I think, but it's a very, very solid mon. I think that we do kind of want to bring the taunt, but it's hard to say. Like that team, the only way that we lose is like they get up Trick Room with the Machagachamon, so we can just taunt that with the Decidueye. So we can just go right into this. And again, we have like the high crit ratio, the flinch, we have everything. Like even if they want to go screen stuff like that, like the Decidueye, we're going to come in and be hot. I'm actually going to go Screamtail and Decidueye here, and then I'm looking at what we need. I'm going to bring the Arcanine in case something gets going with that Torkoal so we can pivot in and mitigate the damage. And then from there, I'm trying to think of what mon we really need to use to win. And Tinglu's problematic. Iron Hands is good against it. Urshifu, no matter what form it is, I think Iron Hands is better. So I'm going to bring the Iron Hands as opposed to the Rilla here. So there's the Tinglu, and there's the Torkoal. Okay. Okay. Yo, we see you over here, Torkoal. I see you. I'm actually just going to go straight up for this triple arrows into this guy and just go for a howl, I think. I think that's probably our best shot to do the most amount of damage here. Very, very ballsy lead from our opponent, right? Let's see how much damage we get. Can we get any flinches, any crits, anything? Big triple arrows, doing half to the Torkoal, getting a defense drop. Spikes Ting Lu, and then we get the flinch. So we got a flinch and a defense drop. That is crazy good. So Torkoal's dead. Encore Ting Lu. You can protect. I'm going to encore that then, too. Holy moly. Yo, the encores are everywhere. So we can encore now. We can now encore the Torkoal. We do not care about the spikes. We do not. I mean, it sucks, but I don't plan on losing them on this turn. Or this game at all. So let's just keep at it. We could set a Tailwind here. I don't think we actually even need Tailwind. We can always even set Tailwind like next turn, because we're probably not going to Oko the Ting Lu here. Absolutely good swap out here. We can still hit that with triple arrows, by the way. Oh my gosh, you see that damage? And another defense drop. Holy moly, dude, this triple arrows, we're all over the place. Let's go for... I want to taunt this, but it could be Mental Orb. They just scoop. That's just absolute game, though. Like, you see how good this guy is? Dude, Landers wouldn't be doing that. We had absolute control of the matchup with Decidueye. Absolute control of the game. Yo, let's go to another one. I mean, obviously, that game was pretty easy, right? But, let's see how this one works. So there's Trick Room here. If we can stop the Trick Room over there, we should be fine. We should be able to disincentivize a lot of what these guys are doing. With Decidueye being able to go Steel Terror to block like a lot of the like flying attacks that will be coming in. So like Decidueye is a good lead. I'm trying to think of what else we want to lead. Like Decidueye is a good lead. Fake Out's not going to be that great versus those two. I'm actually just going to lead Arcanine. Yes, they could bring King Gambit. I can just go Fairy Terror and Flare Blitz it, right? I think this is fine. We don't really need, like I said, Fake Out versus those, but we do need a Fake Out to be able to come back in and like regain board state. I think something like Rillaboom could be very, very good here. And I'm going to bring the Iron Hands, because I think a second Fake Out, if they do get up Trick Room, which I think they're probably going to find a way to get up somehow, is going to be nice for them. So they have a very, very good lead here. Like, nothing wrong with this lead for them. And they're not Defiant, which is, you know, you see that every once in a while. They're Supreme Overlord. So what we're going to do is we're just going to taunt this thing. Taunt the Finish Shot and Flare Blitz into the Finish Shot slot. I'm not afraid of King Gambit. Not afraid of it. We could go for a Fighting Attack into the King Gambit and a Flare Blitz there, but we're respecting Sash. And if they want to swap in Chandelure, Chandelure's still going to take the damage from the triple axle, or the triple arrows, right? Ursaluna, I do not care. You're dead, and this gets redirected. Remember, like, if they just weren't Sashed, or they didn't Terra, redirected into. Really, really good stuff. Oh, I didn't respect Sash. No, I respected Sash and Mental Orb at the same time. That's why I did that. Cool. Good stuff, though. This guy's taunted. This guy's weak. I think we're just going to go for, like, a triple arrows over here. And, yeah, I'm just going to Flare Blitz the Glastrier. They're going to go probably some sort of weird Terra. I don't really care that much. We get big damage into this Ursaluna. Survey says, oh my gosh, massive damage. And a flinch off the triple arrows. Yo, we are absolutely gaming out here. It is time for Rillaboom. And we can just do triple arrows there, because we're still going to outspeed. We don't need to even show that we have Grass Glide yet. So triple arrows there. Big Wood Hammer over here. We're going to be able to take the KO there. And then, yeah, you can bring out the Matcha Gotcha guy. But, like, we're good to go. Triple arrows again. Bam. Oh my gosh. So much damage. Now, I'm thinking what we need to do if they bring out the Matcha Gotchamon, because that guy could still be... Oh, it's Supreme Overlord guy. Alright, that's fine. So we're just triple arrows it. And yeah, I think that we can still just Woodhammer here. We don't need to go for a Grassy Glide. Sucker Punch does not get the KO. Look at this! Look at this Decidueye! You're making plays for days. If you want something else besides Decidueye, I don't think you necessarily need Taunt in every single situation, but like... Things like Cleavor could go well. Scizor could be another mon that could go, like, one of those off-meta, like, kind of Tailwind mons would provide so much value to this team. So hopefully you like the changes that we made. I really think that this is a cool aspect of the team. Hisuian and Decidueye, very, very underrated mon. I'd highly recommend at least testing it. If you guys have teams you want to submit, the Patreon's open. You can check out this team right here. We post every other day brand new rental teams on Patreon, and we're doing our very best to fix as many teams as possible. So think about checking out the Patreon. Even the lowest tier, the $2 tier, gets access to every single one of my posts, this team fixing post, everything. I would highly recommend you guys checking it out if you want to learn a little bit more. We've been going pretty in-depth, breaking down all the flowcharts for a lot of the articles that I've been typing up on there. So think about checking that stuff out. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And until next time, peace out. Have a great rest of your day.